guys, Miss A here. If you're listening to this recording, you should be on the Learning Center website and you should be on Station 2, Graphic Design, working on your virtual segment of the Learning Station for Graphic Design. And our virtual activity for this station is going to be using a browser-supported online tool called sumokidversion, which is very similar to Photoshop, except for, in my opinion, a little bit more user-friendly, and it's all done online. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at exactly what sumokidversion is all about and just explore the website a little bit. And then eventually you're going to be creating as if you were a graphic designer and somebody was commissioning you to do something. So you can see that you will be choosing among these clients and following their needs to create a graphic design on sumokidversion. But first, let's do some experimentation, and let me show you some of the capabilities of sumokidversion. So go ahead and click on the link and bring it up as you watch this. So when you get to the website, I want you to go up to the top right and go ahead and register by putting in a username, a password, and an email. This will allow you to get some extra features from sumokidversion, such as you can share images, you can look at other people's images, you can participate in the community features, and we can pull files from the computer, among other things. So go ahead and register. Once you've registered, go to the main page, and before we jump right into opening sumokidversion, let's look at some of the different tabs up here. I would like you to spend some time and just look around at some of the images that other people have created on sumokidversion, because it's a great way to get ideas, and there's so much available. You can even search by category. You can search by artist. Those were just most favorited. You can look at top rated, newest. You can even put in what was created in the last time periods. We look at favorites. These are most favorited users. We can also look at most favorite images. And if you click on one of these images, you can get some of the backstory. You can see who the artist is. You can see all sorts of comments. And in this particular case, you can even follow a link to see the reference image that the artist worked from. And you can see the artist's website. So lots of great ideas there. I would like you to spend some time exploring that. Community tab is also a great resource. So you can look at all sorts of comments and leave comments yourself on images, kind of like a blogging style format. Features, you can just go ahead and look at some of the features that sumokidversion has. Many of them are very advanced. And then you can explore all of these at your leisure. But let's go ahead and open up, if we click back on the little sumokidversion image and open sumokidversion, it's going to go ahead and bring up the program for us. Okay guys, so once you have sumokidversion open and running, your first assignment is to do a piece that's all experimentation. So the point of this is so that you can familiarize yourself with the layout and some of the options in sumokidversion. So I'm going to go ahead and draw out my workspace. I'm going to drag it out to make it bigger on the bottom right. On the left here you can see all the different tools. At the top you can see the ways that you can change each tool when you have it selected. We've got color choices here, and we've even got layering options, which is really nice because we can work on separate layers, and that way we have more ability to manipulate separate images, separate layers. We can do different effects on them and overlap objects, ideas, images. It gives us a lot more potential on the complexity of our pieces. So go ahead and experiment with each one of these tools. If you hover over one, it'll show you what it does. So make it your goal to try each one and try to familiarize yourself with it. Just to show you an example of how you could experiment, I have the brush tool selected, which is a popular option. So we can change all different things about the brush. One way that we can change it is to change the shape of the mark. So I'm going to put it on chalk 3, and I'm going to try gravity, and I'm going to try wet edges just for fun to see what it does. I'm going to select a color, and your experimentation can be as simple as just playing around with the tool. So gravity gives it a lot of flow and gives me less control, so I'm going to turn off gravity, change the color again. You can see without gravity it gives me a lot more control over what I'm doing, so a lot more of myself rather than the gravity effect. And you can definitely try different kinds of brushes. Maybe we want to use ink instead. You can try different colors. That one's really light. You can try different tools if you've played around with the brush enough. You can maybe try the fill tool, the paint bucket, and it will fill large areas if they're enclosed, including the background. So experiment with different tools and see what all you can find out about their use. And don't be afraid to change some of these options up here at the top as well. Also, I want you to try creating a new layer. So down here on the bottom right in the layers area, we've been working on the background layer. If you go down here, you can add a new layer. So when we go to layer 1, you can see if you have layer 1 selected and you make something on layer 1, that little shape is on top of the background. So if you hit this little eye, we're turning off that layer, and we can bring it back too. And you can even do all sorts of different effects on the different layers. So experiment with different layering and what you can do. You can even try adding more than one layer if you like, and then turning off different layers and doing different effects. Don't be afraid to experiment. Like I said, that's the assignment. And when you're pretty happy with your level of knowledge and your familiarity with Sumo Paint, then you can go ahead and save it under File. You can see there's all sorts of options under File, and later on we're going to be opening images to work from instead of just from scratch. You can open from Sumo. Remember when we created our account, we gave ourselves that option to save stuff in that account. So we can open from there, open from the computer. You can even open directly from the internet if we were to find an image. But for right now, let's just save it. We could save to Sumo, but let's go ahead and save it to your computer. And I'd like you to title it your last name, your first initial, and I'd like you to save it as a JPEG or a JPG at 100% quality. Go ahead and save it to your desktop for now. You can put it on your public drive later, but let's go ahead and put it on the desktop. And then that will enable us to upload your experimentation file to the blog on the Learning Center website so that we can you can get graded and we can all share and possibly comment on our experimentations. So thank you so much for listening and have fun with your sumo paint adventures. Bye bye for now.